Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance.
Cornell Law School. U.C.C. Article 9, Secured Transactions. Part 7, Transition. Paragraph 9706. When initial financing statement suffices to continue effectiveness of financing statement. A. Initial financing statement in lieu of continuation statement. The filing of an initial financing statement in the office specified in Section 9501 continues the effectiveness of a financing statement filed before this Act takes effective. 1. The filing of an initial financing statement in that office would be effective to perfect a security interest under this Act. 2. The pre-effective date financing statement was filed in an office in another state or another office in this state, and 3. The initial financing statement satisfies subsection C. B. Period of continued effectiveness. The filing of an initial financing statement under subsection A continues the effectiveness of the pre-effective date financing statement. 1. If the initial financing statement is filed before this Act takes effect, for the period provided in former section 9403 with respect to a financing statement, and 2. If the initial financing statement is filed after this Act takes effect, for the period provided in section 9515 with respect to an initial financing statement. C. Requirements for initial financing statement under subsection A. To be effective for purposes of subsection A, an initial financing statement must 1. Satisfy the requirements of Part 5 for an initial financing statement. 2. Identify the pre-effective date financing statement by indicating the office in which the financing statement was filed and providing the dates of filing and file numbers, if any, of the financing statement and of the most recent continuation statement filed with respect to the financing statement, and 3. Indicate that the pre-effective date financing statement remains effective. Paragraph 9707. Amendment of PRE effective date financing statement. A. Pre-effective date financing statement. In this section, pre-effective date financing statement means a financing statement filed before this Act takes effect. B. Applicable law. After this Act takes effect, a person may add or delete collateral covered by, continue or terminate the effectiveness of, or otherwise amend the information provided in, a pre-effective date financing statement only in accordance with the law of the jurisdiction governing perfection as provided in Part 3. However, the effectiveness of a pre-effective date financing statement also may be terminated in accordance with the law of the jurisdiction in which the financing statement is filed. C. Method of amending. General rule. Except as otherwise provided in subsection D, if the law of this state governs perfection of a security interest, the information in a pre-effective date financing statement may be amended after this Act takes effect only if 1. The pre-effective date financing statement and an amendment are filed in the office specified in section 9501. 2. An amendment is filed in the office specified in section 9501 concurrently with, or after the filing in that office of, an initial financing statement that satisfies section 9706C, or 3. An initial financing statement that provides the information as amended and satisfies section 9706C is filed in the office specified in section 9501. D. Method of amending. Continuation. If the law of this state governs perfection of a security interest, the effectiveness of a pre-effective date financing statement may be continued only under section 9705 D and F or 9706. E. Method of amending. Additional termination rule. Whether or not the law of this state governs perfection of a security interest, the effectiveness of a pre-effective date financing statement filed in this state may be terminated after this Act takes effect by filing a termination statement in the office in which the pre-effective date financing statement is filed, unless an initial financing statement that satisfies section 9706C has been filed in the office specified by the law of the jurisdiction governing perfection as provided in Part 3 as the office in which to file a financing statement. Paragraph 9708. Persons entitled to file initial financing statement or continuation statement. A person may file an initial financing statement or continuation statement under this part if 1. The secured party of record authorizes the filing, and 2. The filing is necessary under this part. A. To continue the effectiveness of a financing statement filed before this Act takes effect, or B. To perfect or continue the perfection of a security interest. Paragraph 9709. Priority. A. Law governing priority. This act determines the priority of conflicting claims to collateral. However, if the relative priorities of the claims were established before this act takes effect, former Article 9 determines priority. B. Priority if security interest becomes enforceable under Section 9203. For purposes of Section 9322A, the priority of a security interest that becomes enforceable under Section 9203 of this Act dates from the time this Act takes effect if the security interest is perfected under this Act by the filing of a financing statement before this Act takes effect, which would not have been effective to perfect the security interest under former Article 9. The subsection does not apply to conflicting security interests, each of which is perfected by the filing of such a financing statement.